Playoff football time is here! Not the wild cards, the real playoffs this weekend. Woo! Great games.
I'm telling you. Let's see. I'm pulling some stuff up here. What surprised you the most?
Nothing with the playoffs so far. Von Miller getting arrested and charged for an undisclosed escapade with a lady, and that's interesting. That just came up a little while ago. I mean, Von Miller's like one of the best defensive players in the NFL, and he might not play next year.
Oh, wow.
Arrested. Yeah,
I hadn't heard that story at all.
Yeah, front page Yahoo like 2 hours ago, an hour ago. And they're not discussing what the charges are other than he's under investigation and being withheld. Okay.
Oh, man.
And your worst dream, your nightmare came true today also. I'm curious you're not crying because the whole point is you wanted Gase to keep his job because he's incompetent, and as long as he's there, the Jets will never do good. And then Saleh gets hired by the Jets, and he's the number one coaching candidate. He is, quote unquote, according to Richard Sherman, a leader of men and an excellent coach. The Jets now got a good coach, Dale. It's not what you wanted.
No. But even the Jets aren't stupid enough to keep Gase forever.
Yeah, he had to end some point.
I am trying to I had planned to do a little bit of inviting. Let's get some people in the room. That's probably Mrs. Value Vinyl is the one I'm seeing at the top.
Thanks for being first in, honey.
And so
of the games last weekend, yeah, of course there's going to be a delay. Of the games last weekend, the only thing I was surprised about is that the beginning of the Browns-Steelers game, how they jumped out ahead and then just almost still let them come back, and that was like, oh, come on, man. You guys got ahead by like 28 points. Keep going. And they did. They scored just a little bit after that and almost let them catch up. But
easily that was I think the most shocking thing was the Browns scoring 28 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's like interception, fumble, and then scoring on all of them, and then scoring on their own. And it's like, if they keep this up, they're going to have over 100 points at the end of the game. That's a record. So, I always had that feeling that the Steelers were not exactly all the 11-0 cracked up to be they were when they were 11-0. And I think we saw that. And then the week before when everyone's like, oh, but the Browns played them, but Rudolph was in. And so, and they barely won. They still won. And shows that they do have the ability to beat the Steelers back-to-back weeks. That was cool. What you doing, Dale?
Oh, just trying to
get people's in.
Trying to do a little sharing. And let's see. Let's tag you. One of these days, I'm going to be, for an old man, I'm going to be halfway decent on the social media stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not
trying to figure some of this stuff out. All right. I think that hits both your and my page. That's about as good as it's going to get. All right.
I got something super surprising that'll blow your mind that you won't believe.
What's
I'm going to
that?
tell you something. I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be like, no. Ready? Josh Gordon suspended indefinitely again for substance abuse.
No.
Who'd have thunk it? But
Oh
so,
wow.
yeah.
Let's look at last week's before we get into this week's. I think we
Yeah, I can open up another page. I can do that. Yeah. Let me open up another page here and refresh my memory of those games when I watched it at them.
Yeah. So
There.
So I wasn't too bad. 4-2 for the weekend.
Got 50 points.
So we had Buffalo. First game was Buffalo 27, Indianapolis 24. I think, was I surprised that Indianapolis gave them such a battle? I mean, they really took it to the Bills.
They did.
Should feel very lucky to come out of that game with a win.
Especially right at the end there. It was, a field goal game. It could have turned at the last second. So, but the Bills are, I think, solid, and I think I'm still behind them, and I still think they're a better team than everyone expected them to be this year. So, good for them.
Yeah, I think that Josh Allen, man, he really looks like. Can we call him elite yet? He's maybe he needs another season or two at this level.
I don't know. When I see things like Mahomes no-look passes, when I see him getting tackled and falling down and throwing touchdowns, and and I see him actually rushing and not going head first or feet first and going head first, and I consider him an elite quarterback. He's accurate, he's smart, he knows when to throw the ball away, he's athletic.
Are you talking about Mahomes or? I thought we were talking about Josh Allen.
I'm saying Allen. I've seen Allen act like Mahomes. So if Mahomes is considered an elite quarterback,
okay,
a lot of the same things, the exact same things. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need another season or two of consistent of that type of level play. But man, it's hard.
You got to think before this year, there was only one full season that Mahomes had, and he got the MVP. So. Or the year before or whatever, in the and he was considered elite in a season. So, yeah. But yeah, I just think he's a good kid. I think Buffalo's definitely a good guy.
But they need to be troubled about not being able to stop people.
They need to improve their defense, and as we know, defense wins Super Bowls, which is the only thing that's keeping me from thinking the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. Is that consistently it's pretty regular and real that defensive teams end up winning Super Bowls. I mean, look at the Broncos when they won with Peyton Manning. It wasn't Peyton's play that got them that win. Chicago Bears back in '85. It wasn't Jim McMahon's wonderful, accurate arm that got them that Super Bowl win. It was defenses. Giants, I could go the same route, but Phil Simms is a good quarterback, so whatever. But not Eli Manning. So.
Yeah. So then we had the Rams beating the Seahawks. That was a little bit. Well, obviously, I missed the game. I got the pick wrong.
Yeah, their backup got hurt, Mr. No Name AFL guy or whatever, and Goff had to come in, and he's not ready. Still has his thumb in stitches and whatnot, and Goff's going to start to this weekend, and he's not supposed to, but he was there as an emergency quarterback, and he went in and they won the game. So good for Goff.
Yeah, he worries me with his inconsistency.
Absolutely.
But I really thought Seattle would go fairly deep in the playoffs, and they're not.
And I wish I could tell you what it is. They've got all the pieces in the right place. They've got a coach that's a proven winner. It's just something's not meshing. Something is amiss there.
They've got an elite quarterback.
Got elite wide receivers. Metcalf's bad. He's bad.
Yeah.
Can't say it's their defense. I know is weak. It went from the Legion of Boom being something scary to a secondary that's unscary. It's like one of the worst in the NFL. So maybe that's the whole thing. But they only scored 20 points. And I get Aaron Donald's one of the best in the league, but he's pass rushing and putting pressure on the quarterback. But I've seen Russell under pressure get away from it and make plays, and he's just not doing that. He's doing okay. I don't know. I can't say what it is. It's just something just ain't aligned. So
I just became distracted because I realized there's all this stuff playing over here, and I don't even know what that is. Cobra Kai. Oh, I know what that is. I love that show.
That's that new Karate Kid show.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Heard a lot of people say it's good. I have not seen it, but I've heard a lot. I mean, where are they in, like, third season or fourth season now? I mean,
third season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Matter of fact, I watched the entire third season in one setting. So
I should get back and do that at some point.
Yeah. So then we got Tampa Bay beating Washington 31-23.
That was a lot closer than it should have been. Let's be honest. Should it have been 31-23? No, it should have been like 31-7, 31-3. Kudos to Washington for putting the old effort in there, but
yeah, they've got some
playoffs in the first place, right?
Yeah, they Are you trying to get me salty again this week?
I'm just reminding you of your own words, sir.
Yeah, no, they didn't belong there, but I'm not gonna lie. They got some nice pieces. I really like their defensive line.
Yeah,
especially Chase Young and Montez Sweat.
Did you see Chase after the game running off the field? Did you hear him? He's running off the field after the victory last week, and it was just so great because I don't know if you remember, but the week before he had said, "I want Tom."
Yeah, he'd been talking some smack.
Yeah, he was talking some smack. He was running off the field after that game, and one of the reporters goes to him and goes, "So did you get Tom?" And he's like, "Forget you." I didn't forget.
I didn't catch that. That would have been funny to hear.
Like, so did you get Tom?
Man.
Forget you. Walked by him like, "Oh, Chase, come on, man. You get some smack. You gotta get called out on it."
Oh yeah. But he's going to be a good one for some years. But he had to learn that one the hard way. They've got some good pieces. I wouldn't be surprised to see them if they can, especially if they can settle down their quarterback situation a little bit. If they don't start doing much better, I mean, playoffs and stuff. And
but let's be realistic.
If they're with the winning record.
Alex Smith isn't the long-term answer. They got rid of Haskins, and Taylor Heineke or Heineken beer, never played an NFL game in his, and here he is going for 300 yards. You got to get,
yeah.
Maybe he's the future.
Possibly.
Playoffs.
Possibly. Let's see how well he develops.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Washington has not been a good place for young quarterbacks to develop properly.
But here's the other fun thing. Taylor Heineke, the quarterback, was also the leading rusher in the game for the Redskins. That's something they need to fix. You cannot have a quarterback being the leading rusher. You got to, and they don't have running backs. I mean, go ahead, Dale. Name a running back that played last week for Washington.
Oh, I can't do that. I'd have to look it up.
Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick.
Yeah.
They need to help their quarterbacks out because it kind of seems like without those running backs taking the pressure off the quarterback seems to be getting hurt a lot. And that's probably why. So.
What about Tampa Bay? How did you think about how they looked?
Brady, no interceptions. Evans over 100 yards receiving. Fournette almost 100 yards rushing. They got the full package there, you know.
Yeah, and
Their
somebody
defense be better. Yeah, their defense needs to be a little better, but they got tools they need to go deeper. They can win this week, probably.
Yeah, over on the NFL enthusiast, the Facebook page, I think I believe it was Summer Lattimore, that one of the administrators that had put up a statistic about Brady and maybe Josh Allen being the top 2 rated quarterbacks since about week 13.
Yeah, last half of the season, yeah.
At the same time, the only team that they played with a winning record was the Chiefs, and they lost that game.
They had a weak second half. That's true. So that's something to think about.
So yeah, so I they played, and they played somebody terrible twice in that period, and I'm thinking Brady's good, but is he looking good right now because he's not getting challenged? You know, and I don't know that Washington was up for really challenging him. So
no, they don't. They're when I say name the top 5 defenses in the NFL, nobody's putting Washington on that list. Nobody. Right. So yeah. We'll see. Let's be honest. This week, this is gonna, it's Grandpa Bowl, so or the Rocking Chair Bowl, or
Breeze and Tom Brady. All right, so we've got the other game that I picked wrong. Baltimore 20, Tennessee 13.
I'll be honest. I could have went either way. I like both teams. I'm just happy Captain Poopy Pants is moving on for the first time. He's been known for not being able to win playoff games, and he won one. Well, good for him. And
yeah.
Oh well.
Well, but yeah, I was a little surprised. I felt like Tennessee was better balanced offensively, and but I did expect it to be a close game. And of course, New Orleans beat Chicago.
That was given.
We saw that coming. Nobody thought that the Bears are going to keep up with anybody.
Again, shouldn't even been there.
And then the game that shocked the world, and the Browns scoring 28 points on the Steelers in the first quarter.
Pretty awesome.
Who would have thunk it? I mean, and at the end for Roethlisberger to have thrown for what he threw for over 500 yards, right?
500 yards, yep. And he lost the game.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's that was the one that kind of caught me off guard. Let's look in here for a moment.
I mean, Baker had 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. The problem with Ben, though, is you got to remember, yeah, he threw 4 touchdowns, but Ben Roethlisberger threw 4 interceptions. That's not how you can win a game. You can get tons of yards, but if the other team's getting tons of yards also because they're returning your interceptions, it's
all right. So when we look at the who will score the most points this week, I was wrong. I thought Buffalo. It was Cleveland.
Who'd have thunk it? They almost did it in the first quarter.
But boy, I nailed that Chicago.
Yes, got that.
Everybody knew that. In fact, I got their final score pretty close. Well, New Orleans, I was a couple touchdowns off, but I was only 1 point off on the Chicago game, or on the Chicago Bears themselves.
Well, by the way, just to go back to what I just said, I just looked it up. The next highest was 31 with Tampa Bay and 30 with LA. And the Browns got 28 in the first quarter. So I wasn't wrong. The Browns almost got the highest points total of the weekend in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's just
Crazy.
That that game kind of reminded me of back in the 80s, the classic game with the Dolphins and the Chargers. And Dan Fouts and his crew came in and rolled out to a 24-0 lead. And I think that was, wow. Yes,
Mandy? That's why I was pointing like that. I'm like, did you see what she's? I see Mandy
if I
over
can
there.
find my cursor, I'll highlight it. There we go. Stayed awake for this. Wow, we get no respect.
Hey,
I think she's
Grandma, is 9 o'clock too late for you, sweetie? Aw, go to bed.
Well, we gotta give her a little sympathy on there because, like we did a couple months ago, we did that awareness thing for type 1 diabetes, and so she goes to bed early because she's got to get up and often has to get up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, take care of the family. Yeah,
take care of that. So, yeah, I give her a hard time about keeping old people's hours, but boys, she
I respect her. She works hard. And
yeah. So there was something else. What was I talking about before I saw her comment?
Dan Fouts.
Oh yeah. I of course, being a Dolphins fan, I was about ready to. I didn't know what to think. I thought, how bad can this get? And of course, you're playing the Don Shula team, so you better not give up on them. And what happened was they made the switch from Woodley to Don Strock, and Strock came in and lit up the offense, and they hit that famous hook and lateral right before the half that cut the lead to like 24-17, and then we came back and tied it, and it went back and forth until overtime, and was it one or two overtimes? I can't remember. But it was a crazy game. It was one of the wildest games that I've ever seen.
I wish I would have watched it. I wonder if they have a replay somewhere. Sounds great.
Yeah, they do. They do. Just go right here on YouTube. I'd Google Dolphins Chargers full game. I'm pretty sure the full game was on there. But you definitely get highlights, and it was. But yeah, I couldn't. The highs and lows of that game were just insane. All right, good night, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ben, we're gonna have to talk, man. You matter of fact, talking about Brady in here. Wow, I'm telling you, Dolphin fan, division rival. Shady Brady, you might don't hate me for what I might say about the Cheatriots.
I live in Cheatriot country. Believe me, I know.
Any given night. Yeah, the Patriots make me a little salty, but hey, yeah, and don't get me started on the Jets and the Bills either. All those division rivals, I can tear into. Let's see.
That would have been good, Eric. You're right, man. Watching Rodgers Brady. Man. Brady Breeze is gonna be a good one too, though.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Packers get a hold of Brady myself. So what are we looking at?
We're going ahead and the matchup, so Eric. That's more of a chance of a loss because I think the Packers are going to have a much easier time with the Rams than they would with the Bucs. So, I don't know.
So let's look at that first game. We're talking Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers. There's no doubt in my mind. It's the Packers. Man, they're playing awfully good.
I pick Packers because of consistency. The Packers are good, and they're always good. The Rams, they can have spurts of greatness, but they can also not. And also, Goff is starting, and he's not 100%. So we don't really know. I think overall it should be, but I'll be honest, I would love to see LA beat the crap out of the Packers. You know I would. I would love to see it, but
Well, I'm not even sure if this will be a game. It all depends on which Jared Goff shows up.
what? Wait, hold on. I gotta yell my. What the hell are you talking about, woman? You're just trying to stir controversy, aren't you?
No, actually, I'm looking for a team to go for next year.
And she's thinking about the Jets.
What? You've got 31 other choices. Try harder. Those are okay. He's not a fan of the Bills because they're in the same division.
Now she rooted for the Jets. She would immediately go to the top of their intelligence list because we are talking about a fan base that one of their best claims to fame is their little Jets.
Jets. Yeah.
Oh wow, you can spell a 4-letter word. Great. Happy for you.
You guys are awesome. Way back with Namath. Since the 60s, what have you guys done?
Jordan Love will be the difference maker. Is he going
to play? Is he even going to play, Eric? Do you know something I haven't heard yet?
It makes me wonder. I'm telling you. I can't imagine him sniffing the field, but unless they're just throttling the Rams. But I think the Rams will. Their defense is good. I just don't have much faith in their offense.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers has COVID because he'd have to go near his family members to be able to get it from them. Because Aaron Rodgers, his family hates him.
Wow, man. The quarterback on the bench is way more important than a first and third rounder that contributes.
Yeah, sarcasm. Yeah, I get that. I got that. Yeah. I get it. He was saying Jordan Love because it's a wasted pick, It's sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a difference maker at all because he ain't playing. Funny. But, yeah, I would love to see the Rams win, but they're not going to. But, boy, I'll be happy. You'll be seeing me on Facebook if they do. Buddy.
Oh, man. We've got Baltimore at Buffalo.
I like both teams. Either one wins, I'm happy. I have no preference, but I personally think the streak that Buffalo is on, they had adversity last week and they overcame it. Yeah, it was a close game, but I have confidence in Josh. Let's be honest. Last week with Lamar was the leader. He had almost 150 yards rushing. And 150 yards passing in that area. He almost rushed as much as he passed. He needs other teammates. He needs other pieces. Yeah, they can win games, but just on pure talent and coaching and everything, I don't know. It's tough. But
yeah, I'm picking Buffalo.
Yeah.
But it's not like a slam dunk pick because
no.
Yes, Josh Allen's just playing lights out. That offense is clicking, but again, like I was saying earlier, I don't have a whole lot of faith in that defense. I think at some point they're going to get caught. I just don't know that I believe that it's going to be this week.
Hey, there were a few games earlier this year. Buffalo was 13-3, and the 3 games they lost were some decent teams, but they didn't look that sharp. And so I don't know. I like Buffalo in this one, but it's me just being a Allen goon. I'm an Allen goon. I admit it. I'm not a Bill Mafia guy yet, but like I said, boys, fun to watch.
Yeah. Then we've got Cleveland at Kansas City.
That's got to be the game of the week for me, man. you got the team that should win and the team that can win. And, you know, you know how much I love the Browns, and I really in my heart want them to win, and I know they have the ability to. I mean, the Chiefs aren't perfect. They lost 2 games. They are fallible. And Cleveland, if they can, look what they did to the Steelers. Oh, man.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Are you going with your heart, or are you going with – because right at the beginning of the year, you already said, and you've said all the year long, KC's probably going to the Super Bowl. So to get the Super Bowl, they got to win this game. Are you going to still stand by that?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking at this thinking it is possible Cleveland could really present a defensive challenge for them. Another statistic that I saw, and I think I saw it over at the NFL Enthusiast on Facebook, the page there. Let me.
And while you're doing that, I would like to comment that a Packers fan actually said something intelligent, and I wanted to make sure I commented and remarked on that and congratulated him for a thought pattern that was good.
One of these days, he's liable to take me up on one of my invitations to join this live stream.
The problem is that I know if I ever met Eric in real life, I know he's really good with knives. Really good with knives. What he does for a living. He sliced me up into little, sushi. So I better watch myself. But
so he's obviously taking the Chiefs too. All right. So the statistic that I was about to talk about, the defensive line has been rated number 1 by a publication, both in running and passing, which is quite an accomplishment. And they've got a beast of a front line. And so but man, I don't know. I'm still a believer in that right now until someone can shut down the Chiefs. I mean, how many times did Mahomes get behind last year in the playoffs, and just when they need it, he whatever he needs when he needs it, he's got it. And
let's not forget, they've all had a week to sit and relax and get healed up. Oh, Eric showed me his knife. He's got the knifey. Slicey dicey Ginsu, baby.
Maybe we should be playing some Brian Adams about now.
Knife, huh? Yeah.
Let's see here. And then we've got
New Orleans, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a bad week for underdogs. I'm picking the Saints. I think they're good all the way around.
I think of all the games that could be an upset, or all the games that this could be the one. I'm pretty confident in Green Bay. Less confident, but still confident in Buffalo. Kansas City, I don't want it to happen. Again, I want to see the Rams win. I want to see the Browns win, but it's not probably going to happen. But this game, it could go either way. You've got 2 very experienced veteran quarterbacks, 2 very experienced veteran coaches. Everybody's been here before. They know the song and dance. They both won a lot of games, and they both have proven both quarterbacks have won Super Bowls. Hey, could be either way. Personally, I'd like to see the Saints win if I had a chance.
I'm trying to remember. It seemed to me, now they're in the same division.
NFC South, right?
Yeah. And so I wanted to look through here.
Oh, yeah. What about the other 2 times? Because they played twice this year. Saints, 38-3. Look at that.
And
look at the other time,
34-23.
Saints got their number. Peyton knows.
Yeah.
Beat Arians twice, man, and that one was a whooping.
That was an absolute whooping on their home field.
Mm-hmm. Do it. Go Saints, man. Do it.
Yeah, I just
You said bad week for underdogs. Yeah, you're right. It would really be a big deal if Tampa Bay won that one. I didn't even realize their record earlier this year with the Saints.
So how do we look at the confidence? Well, I'm giving the 16 to Green Bay.
What link does Eric need in the comment section?
Huh?
Oh, he's trying to share a link in the comment section and won't let him, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
If not, the StreamYard, shame on them. You should be able to share links in the comment section. That's garbage.
Yeah, I don't know. So
you're going home field for everybody, huh?
Well, that's just the way it happened.
Oh, he wants to join in. See, now he's taking you up on your offer, Dale.
Oh, okay. If he wants in, I can get him in.
That we can do.
Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to. Where's my invite thing?
He's trying, Eric. He's technologically challenged.
Yeah, there's something. Oh, let's hide that right there. See, I am not as good at this type of. We're going to try. I've never tried this before. Let's see if that works.
Give it a try, Eric. And before you give me crap, yes, I totally realize that the Detroit Lions hired the guy from the Rams that just checks out college players every now and then. We hired him as our general manager. Yeah. You went all the way from college scout to general manager of the Lions. That's a great hire. We're going to do awesome. Go Detroit. So I'm going to give myself crap before you do.
Hello.
E-Dub. What's up, E-Dub?
You can hear me just fine?
I can hear you, buddy.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Forgive me for being avatar mode. I'm driving a car right now, and safety is a priority, obviously.
I'd rather look at that hot chick with the car than you anyway, so that's good.
Okay, I see how it goes. No, but as far as I guess you're talking about the Saints game right now, I am cheering for the Saints so hard. It's the only game I care about almost as much as the Packers game, because it's a long time been a philosophy of mine that if Brady, although I have respect for his talent, if he went elsewhere, he'd flounder about, he'd get banged up, he'd get injured, he'd be lucky to win 1 or 2 championships at a quality team and never would have won one and elsewhere. And I think Drew Brees, if you guys recall, the Saints were a perennial laughing stock of the NFL
for a while there,
for quite some time.
I've been watching since '75. I'm well aware how much.
They had a little bit of success briefly with Michael Vick's cousin, the Scrambler. I cannot recall his name right now. Not Aaron. What's his last name? Is like a first name. He got banged up though, because you know how it goes when you're running quarterback. You live by the run, you die by the run.
Exactly.
But no, but like people forget the Patriots. Kraft came over there. Look at the history of the coaches he hired. Before they were even there, they lost a Super Bowl to the Packers in the '90s. They were already winning. Like Tom Brady inherited a gold mine of a team. Mm-hmm. So I got respect for him, because there's a lot of people that have been in that situation that he was in, and they'd be lucky to win 1 or 2, and he took advantage of the situation he had. But I've never viewed Tom Brady as the GOAT. And I will listen to an argument of him being the best quarterback of all time. But when people call him the best football player of all time,
No. He's not as athletic, and he's not an athlete of sorts. No, he's not the best football player, but he's a pretty good quarterback. I hear it all the time on the radio here. I mean, the arguments that we got nowadays with the fact that the Patriots are all of a sudden bombing without Brady, and then the Bucs are in the playoffs with them. Everybody up here is convinced that Belichick's a hoax.
I wouldn't say they're bombing. I think when they banked on Cam Newton, that was a mistake, and then he was on and off hurt this year. So I don't know. And so they kind of rode it, and then they paid Brady money, and they pushed that longer than they should have. And so I think if Belichick had his way and moved on from Brady a few years ago, they'd be in a better situation. I mean, they won with Garoppolo, they won with Castle, they won with Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe, like I say, he played the Packers close and lost the Super Bowl when the Packers played in back-to-back Super Bowls, ultimately losing their second to the Broncos, who won 2 in a row. But Bledsoe, if you recall that AFC Championship game that Bledsoe won to take him to the Super Bowl, there was a big kerfuffle at that time of who should have started the Super Bowl. So they've been in the situation for a long time. It was defense first, and I think they're one of the best organizations or franchises in sports history.
I think that's a key thing, is that they're such a good organization that there are pieces that can come in and out and they can turn them around quickly. And you're right. I don't see them, unless things change administration wise, they're going to always be a contender. And just this is one of those off years because they banked on Cam too hard.
Yeah,
right.
if Stafford played for the Patriots, he'd have 3 Super Bowls by now.
Thank you, sir.
I'm dead serious. If Stafford played for the Patriots, I don't know what the number would be, but he'd have a Super Bowl by now, and he probably would have at least a couple to a few appearances.
Yeah.
I'm not saying but that's been my personal opinion, and some people
more Super Bowls than Aaron's won, or
what's that?
With more Super Bowls than Aaron's won, or
well, I mean,
Stafford's better than Aaron Rodgers. Is that what you were saying? I'm just trying to hear what you were saying.
So by logic, you count Super Bowls as that's what makes you the best.
Right. We know that because that's what they do up here in New England with Brady.
Because I think Barry Sanders is a top 5 running back. He never even went to a Super Bowl.
Nope.
Well, we know that the championship thing is a crock, because otherwise that means Trent Dilfer's better than Dan Marino.
Flacco too.
Yeah, Flacco too. Yeah.
But look at the Patriots situation. It's really kind of their own fault with Kraft and Belichick not being on the same page, because if they had gone with Belichick's plan, instead of needing Cam Newton to come in, they would have simply went to Jimmy Garoppolo, who I think would have done better in that system. And but no, there was part of that. Well, it's part of everyone's fault. It was part of Belichick's fault for never treating Brady with the kind of respect that he should have. Maybe then Brady would have thrown a hissy fit and got Garoppolo traded.
Well, I think Brady has a bit of a diva complex, which I guess is something that also leads to greatness. So, especially in wide receivers, you have to want the ball. You have to think everything's your way. But, Bill Belichick is a grimacing, dirty hoodie with the sleeves cut off, old school, cantankerous bastard of a coach. I don't think he relates to that well.
Hey, Mrs. Vivi wants to know if you were talking about Aaron Brooks earlier with Michael Vick's cousin.
Thank you. Aaron Brooks is correct.
Yes, Mrs. Vivi, that's who it was.
Yeah. I said Aaron. I thought that was his last name. I could not get it out for the life of me. But yeah, Aaron Brooks. That's actually Michael Vick's cousin.
Oh wow!
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they were terribly close, but cousins nonetheless.
She Googled it. So okay. We're good.
Yeah,
well,
but no, it's like
the 3 of us getting it.
But yeah, I mean, you look at it. I have so much more respect for someone like Breeze that takes over a practically defunct franchise and builds them into perennial contenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And to me, yeah, I've always thought that because I won't entertain the idea of Brady being one of the great quarterbacks. I mean, he's good, he's elite, even, but he's not even the best quarterback of his own time.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was better than he is, and I've often felt.
Oh.
I've always felt Drew Brees is better than he is.
Yeah, remember when the Manning went to that? There's a reason why Manning went to the Colts. The Colts were awful. They had 1 and 2 and 3 win seasons.
Right.
Atrocious.
And Peyton Manning is the only quarterback that I'm aware of in NFL history that has won Super Bowls with 2 different teams.
That is correct.
And I think that's a testament to his ability. Now, I do think the fact that the Buccaneers are in the playoffs and this far into the playoffs, I think that is a credit to the great professionalism for the most part and ability. But I still think if you look at the Patriots overall, they're a hold on. I mean, they've caught every break imaginable. If you give Seattle 1 run and Atlanta 2 runs, there are 2 Super Bowls gone. And then early in the career, there were a couple Super Bowls where if it hadn't been for Adam Vinatieri, I'm not sure they would have won those.
Yeah, people need to respect the kicker. A lot of people, that's one thing I noticed when you talk football with people. A lot of people just enjoy. It's like watch NASCAR where they're just waiting for a wreck and they just watch who the leader is and they don't understand the sport. I find with football, a lot of people that have zero appreciation for special teams don't realize how important it is to the game. Every game starts with a kick. It's field position, punts matter,
Gunner is the hardest position, man. To play a gunner, you got to be the biggest, fastest athlete on the field. That is your best athlete is on special teams.
And let's remember, this dynasty started with Tom Brady nearly losing the game for the Patriots. They had to pull a tuck rule.
So that,
And then Vinatieri, kicked.
You're good. I'm sorry.
Vinatieri kicked an amazing field goal in driving snow. I mean, and the Patriots have been lucky. I think we just lost Eric. But then the Patriots have also been lucky to have 2 kickers. Adam Vinatieri, who I always the greatest kicker ever. Here he comes. And then Gostkowski, who may be the second greatest kicker.
Yep.
Now, boys, there's a new segment we're starting this week called No Money Prop Bets. We're going to make bets, but we're not going to put any money on it. We're not gamblers. But we're going to pick one of these games and make a prop bet for yourself on something. We're going to follow up on it next week. I am going to go with mine. Alvin Kamara, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is my prop bet for this week for this. I think Kamara is going to have 150 yards minimum and a minimum of 2 touchdowns. What do you boys see in these games? Something that isn't obvious that you think is going to happen that might just be that little out-of-the-wall weird prop bet kind of a thing?
I think the interesting prop bet would be to bet on the pass yardage discrepancy between Drew Brees and Tom Brady. And I think that Drew Brees will throw for more than 150 yards more than Tom Brady.
So Tom could get like 200, but then Brees is going to get like 350, 400.
Yeah. But that's an easy one. That's it. And prop bets are supposed to be fun, and they're supposed to be able to go multiple ways.
Yeah. I can see that with Buffalo and Baltimore too, just because Lamar's not known for having high yardage. So, but yeah, definitely. I like that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about mine. Looking at these 4 games, anything that's kind of standing out to me. I think with dead air.
How many no-look passes will Mahomes attempt?
Oh, geez, there ain't no telling.
Lower number's 4. So, come on, Dale.
I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, all right, if I'm going to throw one out there, I'm going to say that Alvin Kamara will be the leading rusher in the game. I think people are forgetting the running that New Orleans has.
And not only that, but Tampa Bay's running defense is not as good as quite a few other teams in the NFL. That's kind of why I went for that one for him getting 150 and 2 touchdowns, because I think that's where Tampa's biggest weakness is right now, is their defensive running stopping abilities, personally. So, yeah, we'll see. So you got top rusher of all the games is Kamara. That's kind of what you're saying?
I've got the top rusher for the Saints Buccaneers.
Who else would it be? Of course it's going to be Kamara.
That also leads me to something intriguing, because maybe with the Russian defense of the Buccaneers, maybe Drew Brees doesn't get that many snaps, because they kind of have a 3-headed monster. So maybe Jameis Winston will have a hot hand wanting to play against the team that let him go. And also have a Russian quarterback that likes to run naked bootlegs and quarterback sneaks and etc. So maybe they hammer another quarterback in the running game.
Wow, that's a hot take, and I like it. I was about ready to say also, let's not forget Taysom Hill and how many of these wildcat things they can do also, and other crap that Peyton can throw so much weird crap at Arians, keep him off his guard. So I probably assume that's how they won the other 2 games earlier this year. So that should be interesting. Good point.
And also one thing that's fascinating, not to cheerlead anything Tom Brady oriented, because I'll be petty, I don't like him. But Gronkowski in the playoffs is a factor always. So he's healthy, correct?
Yeah. Gronk's healthy, which is amazing, isn't it? He's kind of known for being the don't finish the year off guy, So
yeah. I mean, he's got good weapons.
So what's the schedule? I know.
Go ahead, Eric.
I know tomorrow, unfortunately, I'm going to be at work and I'm going to miss every single second of the Packers game. But what's the schedule for the weekend?
From where it looks like here.
What's that?
Ahead. I was going to say.
You guys sound like robots.
So Saturday, 4:30 is Packers-Rams. Then after that, the 8 o'clock game is Baltimore. And then Sunday, we've got 3 o'clock Browns-Chiefs. And then 6:40, weird time, the Tampa-New Orleans. So the last game is the Buccaneers and Saints. It looks like that's kind of the way it's set up there on your sheet up there, Dale. They got him in time frame, so yeah.
While we're waiting for him, I hopefully he'll call us right back, because I wanted to kind of get his take on the Packers game itself, because we kind of passed that up before he joined us.
Yeah, and I'd like to see what how much of a whooping he thinks that they're gonna put on the Rannies.
Here he is. He's back.
Yeah, like I say, I'm driving around. I probably hit a dead zone.
Back again. Eric's back.
So we passed the Packers game before you got on, and I know as much as you love your Packers. What is your take on that game?
I'm more worried about whoever we play next. I think we should have the Rams. I think our defense is adequate enough to play a Rams team that I think got up for the first round and for whatever reason plays Seattle tremendously well. I don't know how well they're going to travel to Green Bay, and they're an LA-based team that is going to be playing in the cold. I always like that, and I think Aaron Rodgers kind of had that. I'm playing at Lambeau at home in the playoffs. All eyes on me. Let's step up. So I think Rodgers is going to have a tremendous game. I hope I'm not wrong, and I think we have just enough pieces clicking and working together that we can get it done. I know we have injuries on the offensive line, and we just picked up someone off of waivers from another playoff team who's going to be the first ever player in NFL history to play for
That's my cousin.
Yeah.
Jared Beldier. That's my cousin. Yeah.
That's so random. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he's from Western Michigan. Jared Beldier, he played for the Colts. He actually played for many years with the Raiders, Broncos, Patriots, retired, and then actually came out of retirement just to help the Colts on their practice squad, just to be like a player coach kind of thing. But then emergency situation got thrown in and had to play with the Colts last week. But because he's still on the practice squad, technically didn't have a contract, he looked so good, the Packers are like, hey, buddy, why don't I give you a job? And then he gets COVID and he can't even play. Oh, what a bummer, man. Jared's so bummer.
So he's not even playing for the Packers this week?
No, he got COVID.
And so he's supposed to be playing for in a position that's already shorthanded, correct?
Correct. So
my
worry for you guys.
So my worry is that if they can get to Aaron Rodgers, and more so if that continues, if we end up playing the Saints, I think the Saints defense is more worrisome than playing against the Tampa Bay. If I had a matchup preference next week, I would prefer to play Tampa Bay.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, you picked the Saints, but I think you would rather Tampa Bay win just for social purposes. But yeah.
And then also Aaron Rodgers, I think we lost a regular season game that was close, and I forget why it didn't go our way. And I don't. It was down in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had a crowd, and they played with energy, or yada yada yada. But I think Aaron Rodgers has that legacy thing. I think he knows that this is his year to win it, and if it's not now, it might be never.
Yeah, and now I'm not wishing this, but if I'm going to play devil's advocate, if I'm the Rams, I maybe steal a page from the Dolphins book. Dolphins often to generate pass pressure will use a kind of a rolling front where nobody really takes on passing downs. Nobody really puts their hand on the ground. They just kind of mill around, and then
Taylor style.
Yeah, nobody knows who to pick up, and I would do that if in trying to get Aaron Donald, especially if you can get Aaron Donald on a confused lineman who's not been there.
Offensive tackles where that big hole is at, and so I think that's concern Aaron Donald there.
If you can switch him around and make get him on somebody that doesn't know their job quite that well, you might have a chance of getting at Rodgers. But then again, I also think that the Packers know where they're at and will probably scheme, maybe using we're using a tight end in their backfield for a while, right?
Yeah, all sorts of nonsense.
So I mean, they probably know that, and they'll probably put in some plays where they can have some blockers in the backfield to chip chip anybody that comes off the line clean. Hey, man.
Hey, home from work.
Sexy
Hello,
BR,
hello.
what's up?
Yeah. So I think the Packers will probably be okay as long as they can. I mean, they're going to know that hole's there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to get anyone in there just right off the street.
No.
So they'll probably do some things. And Rodgers is fairly mobile, right?
Yeah, he's still fairly mobile. Yeah, he's
LaFleur's not stupid. LaFleur knows
he's an opportunistic runner. If he sees that, hey, I have a window to get these 7 yards for the first down, I'm going to run for 8 and slide my butt down.
Right. So rolling,
or he'll have like a play action bootleg options where he's looking for the man downfield. If not, he reads to the tight end. If not, if his leading blocker has space just in front of him, he'll just pitch it to him, or he'll run behind that lead blocker and just take it out of bounds. So he does a really good job on kind of like roll out bootlegs of making checkdowns.
How does he throw on the run?
I mean,
all right.
Yeah, he throws better to his throwing arm, you know. Yeah, but he's throwing on the run pretty well because he's not usually trying to be. If he's on the run, he's already made his check down where he realizes the thing that he wants down the field isn't there. So he's not looking to make a bomb on the run.
Right. That's what makes Rodgers such a good quarterback is that it's not just any of that. It's the fact that he also knows when to throw the ball away in an intelligent manner, unlike other players. So and that's what scares me about Aaron is that he is smart and he does know the game. He's long enough. He knows to go to his 1, 2, and 3, and if it's not there and they're able to run, go for it. If not, run out of bounds. If not, slide. If not, pitch out. And so I think that no matter what side the pressure is coming from, he's going to be able to adjust to it just fine. I think that I've seen many situations where he's been very Brett Favre-like and done some, gotten away from some tackles he shouldn't have and made some completions he shouldn't have. And he's still capable of that even at this age.
So I think we're banged up on the weak side. So hopefully he doesn't get blindsided. That would be the worst case scenario right now.
But then Love would play. Then.
What's that?
But then Love would play. So that'd be good, right?
Yeah. Well, then if he proved his worth. But I can't tell you how disappointing that pick is. And it still haunts me and bothers me. Because you look at the fact that it'd be nice to be more solidified at the offensive line. Or Aaron Rodgers can get rid of the ball so quick. Or he can stay in the pocket or flirt with the edge of the pocket long enough for running backs to change their directions. So if we had, besides whoever we picked up in the first round, whether it be just some guy that adds to a smothering defense or helps create a smothering defense, like a slot receiver, a value pick, like not even the fact that our first round pick is a waste. Because in the NFL nowadays, your first round picks contribute immediately. Like it's consistently every year. If you make the right pick to across the board, all sorts of positions, like you look at all the brothers, they all went to a team and immediately started contributing.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm not
both too.
Yeah. Okay, but I was talking to my buddy Phil, who's been in a couple of my videos once upon a time, right? And so he's a big football fan, more college than pro, but he is a Oklahoma Sooners / Cleveland Browns fan. So, anyways, we were talking. I was like, Andy Dalton is the perfect example. I think Aaron Rodgers has multiple years left of contributing and being very talented. So whatever pieces are there, you build around Aaron Rodgers. All right, he can't expect his next contract to be the biggest contract, and he's going to still want to win. So you keep him there, and then you look at a guy like Andy Dalton who moved on from a dumpster fire, proved his worth in Dallas, and is going to be available. Or insert whoever, a savvy veteran. Load up a savvy veteran behind Aaron Rodgers in case something's going to happen. And they don't even have to be a proven like asset or starter in the league. Look at in the past when we use guys like Seneca Wallace or Matt Flynn. Like we don't have to have like some former multiple time Pro Bowler. That's not what I'm saying. But I still, until the season's over, I still feel like unless we win it, I feel like that pick's going to burn us this year. I think this is our year to win it. And if those two pieces are that much, I think they're that much of a difference maker. And so,
I right now, I'm praying that the Dolphins don't do a similar thing. I'm hoping that they say they're committed to Tua, and I hope that's the truth, because a lot of Dolphin fans are calling for them to draft another quarterback because they're frustrated with Tua not getting the ball down the field. And I'm thinking, give the kid a moment to develop.
especially because you have a veteran that's contributed. Especially because you have a veteran that's contributing, so he can get his reps and still have Fitzpatrick play out until there's a healthy transition.
Right. But what kills me is they can't see the fact that we've often played without our top two wide receivers. I mean, there was a game where we went out, we were missing our top two wide receivers, our top tight end, and our top three running backs. And it's like, okay, so you see that we, of course, not every year is going to be a COVID year, but we were struggling with depth and having weapons for him. So you want to go get another quarterback, and then what? We don't have any weapons. I'd rather pick get him a number one wide receiver, or make sure that the offensive line in front of him, because I know there are some good offensive linemen out there, but we've got to get better at the skill player thing if we're going to see Tua throwing. I mean, it could be an issue with him needing to see that he's not going to get Alabama open in the NFL.
Great quote, yeah.
But at the same time, we need, if you don't have anybody that can get separation, I mean, we just need to get some guys.
He's mobile enough on his feet. If I was with Miami, I'd be trying to have a just iron wall of an offensive lineman, and then teach him, hey, you don't have to break free. You don't have to get positive yardage. You cannot scramble, but be mobile within the pocket, and then have intelligent receivers that have a second and third option. In this situation, we double back. In this situation, the guy's going to break a cross field or whatever, and he should be able to make his checkdowns and his reads as he grows. I don't think they need some tremendous complimentary number one receiver that they could be connecting with. I think that he just needs room to safely grow behind offensive linemen, and then other pieces will come.
I think we do need some. I do think we need some playmakers. We need somebody who can bust them. And definitely
get out of Alabama. They got 250 yards in the championship game, man. That'd be great.
But then again, we just need guys that can catch. I watched the highlights from every. I watched somebody strung together every incompletion he had in the last game against Buffalo, where we got shellacked.
You saw the Bears game in the playoffs with that basket catch.
Yeah,
like that. Not only was that a huge moment in the game that could have changed things, but that game was weird because that game was a lot closer than the score was. The Bears fought the whole game.
Couldn't finish it, couldn't score.
Yeah, they couldn't complete.
Well, in the Dolphins-Bills game, they showed this guy strung together every incompletion, and except for two plays, he was hitting guys right in the hands, and they were dropping them. And so we've got to get better. We've got to have wide receivers that can catch, and so I really don't want to. A lot of people feel like they want to see the Dolphins.
Where's this reverb coming from? Does someone have their YouTube on as well?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
It could be me. Let me try.
No, it's not. It's not me.
No, I'm saying it could be me.
All right.
Anyway, Eric, I have a question for you. Actually, no matter
Reverb's gone.
no matter what happens this year, you guys are going to have a low draft pick next year because you guys are good. Where do you see your holes? And because of how bad it was last year, what do the Packers have to do with their draft pick this year? What holes do they need to fill to be able to compensate for that screwing up the pick last year? What do you want to see happen this year with the draft pick?
I think any wherever the value pick is at skill position, if we have a smaller, like I really wanted Darren Sproles when he was available. I thought he would have fit perfectly with the Packers. I thought that was a dream matchup that never happened. Or someone like a James.
You're thinking scat back for sure,
so a guy that can go wide out, can play in the slot, could motion behind it. Like so, a utility. Usually, you find a value pick in those rounds. So if we can get a skill set like that, obviously, if I don't know how deep the line is, but if we have a chance to get a dominant offensive lineman, I think Aaron Rodgers with protection can overcome and make other people talented around him. Right. And I think the Packers, their biggest downfall, as nice as it is to have 2 championships in my lifetime, I to a certain extent, I feel like Brett Favre's talent is wasted, but he also, Magic Don Mikowski had a glimmer of hope, but the Packers were floundering around for years. So, like, Aaron Rodgers kind of did not Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre kind of did what Drew Brees did with the Saints. He took a dumpster fire and made them perennially successful. Which it's hard sometimes because, you can have someone like Stafford that can't fix an organization, and he's extremely talented. But it depends on where we get value at. But and also,
so it's not that you're looking for a certain position. You just want who's probably the highest on the board at that point that's available, no matter what position.
I don't know who we're going to be losing, anything like that. If there's a defensive gap and there's someone who's just truly dominant at that position, and maybe they were deep at linebacker or any member of the secondary, and you're just like, oh wow, I can't believe this guy's still here in the 3rd round. This guy is a absolute dominant, linebacker or safety or whatever. Cool. The more the defense could do, the more Aaron Rodgers could pick up. So like my thing is just help him, and you can't do that with Jordan Love.
Because my thought is you got one hand where it's like what you said, get a good offensive line, everything will fall into place after that, and it's obvious they have a hole right now with the whole Jared Valdir thing. Offensive tackle, they definitely need a tackle.
Yeah.
On the other hand, are you 100% sold on Aaron Jones? Are you 100% sold on Jamal Williams? I think Devontae Adams is probably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Do you want to waste a pick on a position when you've got some good players in those positions? But again,
I think Aaron Rodgers works well and develops chemistry with skill positions. So my thing is, if we could shore up offensive linemen and there's less of a chance of an older quarterback taking damage, is more important than someone with their own skill sets. Because Aaron Rodgers, even if it takes a half season, he's going to develop a rapport and lead. So whatever. Say I'd love a really good tight end. The Packers have always had a history of whether it's Bubba Franks or Chamora. We've always had a history of tight ends. So if we had a good blocking tight end that could go into motion and play fullback and block on the backfield or run single back sets, or move in motion to the weak side and help block on that side if our left tackle isn't carrying his weight, whatever. A very versatile tight. I like versatility. That's what I want to see in any position. So if I see a versatile player, like that's who I want to see the Packers get.
Right.
But because I'm not trying to use your team. I'm really not trying to shit talk here. But look at all the wide receivers, and skill players that the Lions got for years. Like it doesn't always equate. Like
Calvin's one of the best of all time. Barry is one of the best of all time.
But I don't know. It's fascinating. I really like to not only as a fan, because as a fan you got to keep things realistic, because your fanhood gets in the way of reality sometimes. I don't think I'm mistaken in thinking Aaron Rodgers is that good. I really do think he's one of the best quarterbacks ever of all time, and I kind of want my own personal beliefs to be validated through another championship.
Cool. I was just going to ask, is Aquanemius the best first name of any NFL player currently on any NFL roster? Aquanemius.
There's like Peekaboo. Was there Peekaboo?
Oh, yeah.
There was a guy whose name was Peekaboo a couple years ago, right?
Well, what about Haha Clinton Dix? Haha's pretty good.
Yeah, haha, Clinton Dix is pretty good. Of course, you had the brothers Akbar and Kabir Bajabiamila.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, was it first name Chris, but remember the brutal fullback that used to block for Jerome Bettis when they just had all that meat, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, Matu Maafala?
I missed him, but that's a good name too.
Yeah, and then by the time he was leaving, then of course you had Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu. But when I first saw that they got Aquanemius St. Brown, I'm like, Aquanemius, who named the kid that? Where does that word even come from? Is that like historic? Is that named after your grandpa Aquanemius? I don't know. I just thought it was just. I thought I'd ask a Packers fan because it's just been bugging me since that happened. So
I love it.
Yeah. You can always.
What was the Michigan running back that had the crazy name back? What's that?
Biaka Batuka. Tim Biaka Batuka.
He went to the Panthers.
Yeah, it was his first name was actually Tismianga, but they called him Tim. But it was Tismianga Biaka Batuka.
And then what was the Nigerian nightmare that used to play for the what's that?
Christian Okoye?
Christian Okoye, and then was it in the Bo Jackson days for the Chiefs? Back when Bo Jackson was very prevalent, you had a crazy named running back for the Chiefs back in the early 90s.
Oh man, couldn't bring that one up.
Oh man. Back in the day of Tecmo football, those were the teams to play with. Yeah. Dolphin Dale, you ever been much of a video gamer?
Oh yeah, I'd still play. I've got quite, I've put together a pretty good MUT team on Madden this year. Game's glitchy as can be, but
I'll be back real quick. I am listening, but I need to grab something that Steve. It's his fault, so I got to grab it.
Yeah.
What do I do? Hey, you got to play. If you've ever played Tecmo Bowl for the Super Nintendo, and you don't become a Barry Sanders fan after that, you're not a football fan because. You pick Barry, you could literally run around the backfield, go around the players, make circles around everybody, go all the way to the other end zone, and then run back to the other end zone. I've done that. It was totally overpowered. The Barry Sanders and
yeah, and dude, I still have an original PlayStation and Super Tecmo Bowl. I love that game. Now, I started playing it back when they only had like 12 teams.
They didn't have them all. Right?
Yeah, they didn't have them all, and they didn't really. I don't even know if they had an NFL license because I don't remember the graphics on it being on the early.
I remember the player names being there.
Yeah, they had the team colors and they had the team city names.
Yeah, now I think about it, you're right. It would say like Detroit versus Cleveland.
I don't remember them having, and I remember Bo Jackson was just insane.
Here's another insane one, yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, they still kind of honor him on Madden anyway, because he's they do it a little differently on MUT, but the cards that you can pull on him have got high scores. I mean, his attributes are gonna be incredible.
Hey, hello, Mata. Hello, Fada.
You did this. I saw this in a dollar bin, and I was like, man, why am I so drawn to this? I'm compelled. I can't let it leave. I can't let it be. And so yeah, I blame you. I do like.
He's funny. It's a good album. It's Alan Sherman.
I do love bad album covers, and I think this is so bad it's good.
I like.
You gotta love the although it's a hard top, not a soft top. The rear suicide door Kennedy car.
Oh yeah, that's the Lincoln Continental, right?
Yeah, that's a looker.
Yep.
But yeah, that's your fault. So I thought about you when I bought it.
geez, I'm sorry, but I'm gracious also. Thank you. You can find some rare gems, then you can pick up some cheap crap records and just enjoy them and be happy that you can enjoy things and not have to spend $50 to get a smile on your face,
Yeah. I actually have a record to send you, Steve, and I need to send Dolphin Dale something as well. But
speaking of which, don't forget we gotta send those records to Dale. It's Friday. Got your Blues Brothers records, Dale. We got to pack.
Get those. Yeah. Yeah. Eric? Did you happen to catch it when he and Mandy? Sweet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He and Mandy threw a special Blues Brothers Sucks pregame right before 1:01 and Mandy's live.
We tried pranking Dale. We really tried. It was really
Who
good.
said Blues Brothers Sucks?
Oh, they were taking a poke at me. Steve and Mandy.
See, we're going to story, Dale, because you're going to tell it biased. You're going to put your little spin on it. Yes. See, Dale had been for like a week or two kind of picking a fight for me and Mandy between each other, saying, Mandy said this about you, Steve, and then going to Mandy, hey, Mandy, you know what Steve said about you? And we kind of talked privately and said, hey, you know what? He's trying to pick a fight between us. It's like, he is, isn't he? Why don't we go ahead and get him back? So what we decided was she was going to ask him what his favorite movie was because they do movie reviews and whatnot. She found out that Blues Brothers is his favorite movie. So
fantastic movie.
Yeah, we thought before they did their movie review, me and her would do a movie review and just intentionally crap as hard as we can, unjustly, because Blues Brothers is a wonderful movie. Yeah. But we were just gonna crap on it all, like white appropriation, trying to, we tried everything we could to try to fuck them about it, and so that was what that whole one was about.
Dale, do you have the whatever anniversary release of Blues Brothers?
I have two. I have this steel book.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you what I'm getting at. Do you have the version that has all the extended extra scenes and all the long play musical scenes?
I think that's this, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm still going to buy it one more time because I want the 4K.
Mm-mm.
Because it is my favorite movie of all time. It's
the band. Band. My dad and I watched that movie. My dad and I, God rest his soul, we watched that movie together over the years. It's one of those things that always used to come on TV, so maybe it'd be in parts, not the entire movie. But we watched at least a section of that movie together, no less than several dozen times over the years. It's just one of those things, like when it came on TV, you just kind of forget that you had shit to do and start watching it. It's like the movie Rudy. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but when his dad's in the stand, he's all proud, and you're just like, oh, I'm not broken, you're broken, Yeah.
Well, I just think it if you look at that movie, it's like they took care for every visual, every sound, and then the mixture to have music that great with a story that great and comedy that great and faces like no other.
John Lee Hooker absolutely killed it in that movie. Aretha sang her ass off. Yeah. All the players with them, they all killed it. This is my Donald Duck Dunn has to be the best though, right there. Yeah, look at that guy. Afro tight. Oh, beautiful.
And so for me, it's the perfect combination of so many things. I just don't know how another movie could top it. One of these days, I need to do a video doing my top 10 movies.
That'd be really hard for me. That'd be really hard.
Yeah, well, you got to set some rules. Like I would have to say like one movie from a particular franchise, That way, because otherwise I'd have like 3 Christopher Nolan Batman movies in my top 10. And then what do you do with Star Wars and Indiana Jones and those?
I like both, but I've always been a bigger fan of the Indiana Jones franchise than the Star Wars franchise. I know that had really perturbed some people, but he was an arc. It was like
even Crystal Skull, even Crystal Skull too.
What's that?
Even Crystal Skull. You gonna add that in? That's
you know what? Some people were so butthurt over that because why? Because there was aliens. It's a Steven Spielberg George Lucas movie.
He did E.T. Come on, people, work with me. He knows it.
And then, like, if anyone knows about the history of the Crystal Skulls, everyone thought they were from aliens anyway. So the end, when they were from aliens, I wasn't upset. And people were like, there was too much special effects. Yeah, because it's been 30 years. When those movies came out and the smoke monsters killed everyone and they all turned to dust, or that guy's face melted away, or the guy ages 1,000 years and dies instantly while screaming. Like, that was cutting-edge special effects at that time. So when 20, 30 years goes by and you see a different version of special effects, did you think they were going to go, like, do stop-motion animation? Like, people were upset by the special effects or the alien aspect in that. And also, it's, okay, the atomic bomb where he's, like, in a refrigerator, like, okay.
I was going to say, that's the one part I was like, when I was watching myself, I'm like, I don't know, that's not, like,
look, this is how they could have solved that. Like, okay, he should have had he should separated his shoulder, or like bruised a rib, or just the fact that he just like walks out of it like, oh, that was weird. It's like that's a little absurd.
As absurd as I was talking to Dale about earlier about Wonder Woman 1984, where there's a fully fueled, fully charged up fighter jet sitting outside the Smithsonian on display that anybody can just jump into and take off with.
Yeah. That movie's supposed to, I don't know if I'm going to have opportunity to watch it before Wednesday, but that movie's supposed to be so awful. I mean, it's supposed to, I don't know if it's so awful that it's going to be good. I know the first one I didn't enjoy.
Well, there's things all throughout the whole movie. Here's another one where to bring Chris Pratt back, or Chris Pine back, they made his spirit take the body of another guy. So where we're seeing Chris Pine, she and everybody else is seeing the guy who his spirit is possessing. Fine. Yeah. But the reason that they had to steal this airplane is Chris Pine's like, I don't have a passport. Literally. And we're like, yeah, but homeboy you're taking the body over of does have a passport. Yeah. They don't mention that or go to that. It's just so many of these logical, non sequitur absurdities that one here, one or two. But when you go to a movie and every 5 minutes you're stopping from enjoying the movie by saying, are you kidding me? Really? That ruins the movie for you. So, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I think you guys should do it.
You know, a movie I'd like to participate in eventually, if you ever have a discussion on, is one of my favorite movies of all time from my childhood. And since we're also talking George Lucas, American Graffiti. Absolutely stellar movie.
Oh, yeah.
Howard's the man.
And also, as a child, we're totally drifting from football here. Anyone who joins in now, don't be upset. But
you'll just put the topics on here. Watch for the first hour. Stay for the rest of you know.
But so when John Milner, who's like a childhood hero of mine, at the end when they rolled the credits and you realize that he was killed by a drunk driver, it was like a sobering moment of reality for a child. You know, it was really something like, I don't know. It teaches you how fragile life is at a young age. I don't know if movies really do that anymore. For movies that are intended for the youth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But did we miss before we keep on? Did we miss any games?
No, we got them all. In fact, what I'd like to do at this point is I'd like to wrap the live stream and let you guys stay where you are.
Okay.
Because I need to talk to you both about ideas I've been having over the last 48 hours. Mm-hmm. Okay, regarding some of the live streams.
Those feelings are natural. It's okay. Don't feel guilty. A lot of people have those feelings.
Right. And everybody's been doing it since the dawn of time. It's completely natural, Dale.
It's okay, yeah. And the hair doesn't grow on your palms.
And you know what? We understand it's just you and two cats. I don't blame you.
Okay, well, anyway, anybody that stuck this long,
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll return. And we are going to see you soon. But for this week, we are going to wrap it up right about now. Peace.
Sounds good.